Hey guys, Indy here. This is a VR to IvanMike on his activation energy video. I've been trying to remember that word, so thank you for refreshing my memory. I'm doing this right after hearing it. I haven't done this before. Usually I put them on my to-do list and don't get back to it. So I make notes, and hopefully this is not too rambly. So, activation energy, which is the idea of what kind of effort are you going to have to make to get to know and learn a system that's new to you. And there is this amount of energy that you're going to have to put in, an effort that you're going to put in before really being able to reap the rewards of that input. So I have a few ideas and takes on the role-playing hobby and community that have much more of a social or self-improvement or sanctification angle to them, and this is one of those topics. When you're looking at not trying a game because it's unfamiliar to you and you don't want to put in the effort, that could be for one of two reasons, and that's either like root reasons. Are you being lazy, or are you making wise use of your time and effort and available gameplay time? So that's like an important self-assessment, self-analysis, an awareness question to ask is which one is it. Back in my video response about the D&D grognards being the grognardiest of them all, I do believe in there I mentioned somewhere that I value intellectual curiosity. And most people would not call laziness a positive quality. So, in general, my gut response to the topic of activation energy is spend it. Make that effort. Take that time. Learn the system. So don't just have one system that you play, whichever system that is. Go out and explore. But there is an aspect of this about being wise. So be wise. You don't have to, I don't have to take crack to know I don't want to do it. Like, this does leave the possibility of there being something that you estimated that you're not going to like, that the activation cost is going to be too high compared to what you get out of it, and you're wrong. Some alternate universe, we find out that you actually liked it. That's okay. That's okay to accept that and just go by. You don't have to try everything. For me, I'm not crazy about the idea of GM-less games. I'm not a theater person at the table. I don't need to get into those groups to know whether or not I'm going to have a good time. I can barely stand to watch people in actual theater be acting. I definitely don't want to do it at the table. But watch the size of your list too. So you can have too many criteria. Well, this is not something I want to do, where you've basically narrowed the field down to a handful of games. So don't have too many qualifiers. Now, as far as my collection and history and how is this activation energy playing out for me, while watching IvanMike's video, I was thinking, wow, why is my collection so small? I was going to do one of those Shelf of Hope videos, except I don't really have a whole lot on my shelf. And why is that? Part of that is because I just choose to be frugal in that area of my leisure money. So I don't have a lot of systems that just sounded interesting, or, well, that's an interesting idea. I don't have a whole lot of those things. But also, I don't have a lot of play experience that's larger or more significant than a convention game here or there. And I can't say that that convention experience was enough activation energy to get me over that hump. I've played a whole handful of systems, and I bet you there's a good handful that I don't even remember that I've played. And I can't tell you a whole lot about a handful of systems that I have played at conventions, so that wasn't enough activation energy. And why haven't I done that? I think for the past, 2 decades, I've really only been interested in playing one or two types of games. Like if we talk about the kinds of experiences and the central mechanic and what purpose does this system fill, I've only wanted to do one or maybe two of those kinds of games for the past 2 decades. And I mean, I have wanted to do some of them, but not enough. Especially when compared to, well, how much gaming time do I have? And who do I know? Who are my fellow players that I get together and sit at people's houses and play with? Only recently have I seen enough online play and been interested enough in the mechanics and tools, digital tools that are out there for us to use, that I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is a place where I can also experience role-playing, not just face-to-face at a table at either a convention or a home group. So now that I have access to this and I'm talking to more people in the RPG Brigade and things like that, I'm wanting to understand more and more, and this exploration and discovery that's going to take activation energy out of me is becoming both more available and accessible and more important to me. While I like the games that I like and that I have and that I own and that I've run, more and more I want to see what else is there. Even in the games where I'm kind of predicting that I'm not going to like it. Like, I'm willing to try out a GM-less game for a few sessions or something like that. I'm probably going to hate it, but I'm willing to put in some time when I have that kind of time in my life to try that out. But I think while I've always valued, right, that exploration and always felt that the activation energy is something good to do, that you should be intellectually curious and not a grognard for whatever game that you play, I haven't had the same desire, and I haven't seen the opportunities in the people around me. So while on one hand I would preach, go see lots of systems, spend that activation energy, I haven't really done very well at that myself, which is something that I'm interested in pursuing and correcting, if you will. So, yeah. That's my thoughts about the activation energy. I think it's an important topic, and I think we all need to engage in it. I was going to say we all need to engage in it more, but there are people out there who engage in it plenty. Like, that's more their natural state, is to explore and not necessarily sit in a home system, so to speak. So, anyways, thanks IvanMike for the great daily content, and talk to you guys later.